Okay. Welcome back to Super Sentai Review, episode number 315. We are here discussing episodes 37 to 41 of Go Busters. Unlike last video, I did 4, this one did 5, because basically the next thing to cover is the Go Busters versus Go Kaiju movie. That's going to be interesting to talk about. Oh, and that's also, by the way, one of 5 movies I have that is left to review that I have seen but I have not reviewed yet. Yeah, that will be down like 4 left. So in these episodes, we continue the Messiah arc, the Messiah Cards arc, which gets wrapped up basically with episode 40. We have like roughly 3 episodes left to go for this saga, and then basically it's like the end game, like right after this. Excuse me. Now, mostly put, here's what happens in the course of these episodes. We find out in episode 37 that Yoko's elementary school teacher is getting married. And she also stated this was actually her first crush. Despite the fact she was a little girl at that point, and she's crushing on a guy who's probably in his 20s, probably not, probably his 30s, 40s-ish. I'm like, okay. And she liked him because he's kind and he likes bugs. That's it. So invited to the wedding, and apparently the whole thing of this one is that, Escape wants to take love for some reason from people. And during the course of this episode, like, she also has her monster, which is a TR monster, female one. And this actually is the first one to call her Big Sis. Which I find that interesting, because normally you just call them boss or whatever. But Big Sis, I think it's the first time they've ever had this happen. And of course, Enter does not like the fact she's, doing this, and then toward the end of the episode, she makes basically a change with her. We have basically a transformation for her. We have Escape Evolve, which, if you're familiar with this particular version in Beast Morphers, it's Robo-Roxy's transformed form. Yep, the same exact form. Yep, and of course they battle her in this form. But then Enter basically saves her being destroyed. Yes, because he still needs her. But really fun episode, that one. 38 is, it's basically pulling the boxing ring. Yep, and by the way, the monster one is a freaking stadium. It's a freaking dome stadium, which apparently was going to be home to MMA fights. Which I'm like, how the heck did basically Enter make a dome into basically a monster? Oh yeah, and by the way, they actually have where it's like another dimension, and they basically bring in like 4 Megazords in this episode, which I'm like, that's interesting. And of course, during the course of the fighting battle, you have Red Bus fighting a 4-1 handicap match. And it was to the point where, after like an hour, his helmet is partially exposed. It's falling apart, and part of the robot's falling apart too. But looking up, basically, we have debut of the Gohan King form. Yes, the ultimate Megazord that basically has the Lion-O Zord, along with the other 5 Zords combined into one. I'm like, this is interesting. And then, of course, we have the monster. By the way, it's rejustified as the fact that, that the Metaloid is actually the building itself. Interesting. 39, it is mostly put this. It is, the Messiah card in this one, okay, get this. It takes control of this kid's gloves, who's a karate student who wants to be an engineer, and his are red and also white. Now, it is explained the reason why this is because the Messiah card took possession of his glove, and he just happened to find a Messiah card in this dojo. Just by sheer coincidence. I do like the whole character space between him and Riju. I thought it was really cool, the fact they did this. It's a good episode. It's mostly put a Riju episode, this one. Yes, I don't mind that at all, that he gets focus. But still kind of basically part of the saga. And then basically 40, we have another big character shift for this one. Yes, where so basically we have another satellite monster, Paraboloid 2, who is successor to the original one. If you're curious, by the way, this monster will later pop up in Kamen Rider X Super X Superhero Tension Z. Yeah, and it's gathering data. And apparently the card that he finds just happens to have, get this, you're going to love this. So apparently this card has data related to, I kid you not, Jin. Yep, Jin. Yes, for some reason, Jin's data is on this card. And it looks like Jin basically is about to disappear somehow, but he is. I find that to be interesting. Yes. Yeah, apparently the original satellite one was a different one. Yeah. And they did bring his monster back for episodes 29 and 30. This is basically the sequel monster. And it's an actual satellite dish, not whatever basically that Inter created. And technically, in a way, this monster was successful finding a card. Yeah, it's actually the first metal that actually was created to do a mission. Its job? To find Messiah cards. Found 2 of them. One of them is in Escape. Yes, because that's a trump card. And the other is in the Ocean, which that apparently has Jin's data on it. But though it's taken by Inter in the episode. This one also has his debut of his Inter Evolved, Inter Unite form, which Blaze wore this outfit when this was Robobase's outfit in Beast Morphers. So we have debut of this mode. I'm like, wow, it took 40 episodes in to basically debut this particular suit. I'm like, I don't mind the suit, it's fine. He doesn't wear it very long. It's almost like basically the actor doesn't care to wear it. At least basically Escape likes wearing her attire. This one, Enter doesn't seem like he likes it much at all. And then after he gets away, next episode, for some reason, there is no Messiah voice. Messiah pops up, you hear his voice a few times throughout these episodes. But 41 is the first episode of the whole series to not feature Enter or even Escape. I get maybe Escape not being featured, but Enter, that is interesting because this is probably the first episode he's ever missed. Like, probably in some time. You probably wouldn't think he missed an episode, but he did. He missed a grand total of... Because I don't remember him being in episode 41. Yeah, I don't remember him being there. He just was not there. It's also about the thief sword, the thief one. Yes. Because the whole thing with episode 41 is all about the debut of one-shot character known as the thief Fatale Pinkbuster, who steals a Messiah card. And when she examines later, it becomes the monster of the episode. When I saw the monster of the thing, I'm like, wow, this looks familiar. It looks like one of the monsters we was seen in that was basically, design-wise, it looked very similar to a monster I saw in Daniel Fury. You know, the one adapted from Rare Soldier. That's what it seems like to me, and I like the fact that they call himself Lupin, which is interesting. Yes, he's based on Audrey Lupin. And by the end of the episode, get this, Pinkbuster's falling for Redbuster because during the course of the episode, he basically is acting like her bodyguard, and he protects her from one of the monsters. And this is so funny. And at the end of the episode, he gets basically he's asked to give me a thief. It's like, oh, I'm not giving a thief. I'm gonna steal the one thing I really want, your heart. Jin's like, how are you ladies, man? And everyone's like, wow, good job, man. You got a woman to fall for you. He's like, and he probably is not going to tell his sister about this. Yes, He is never going to tell his sister the fact that he has a thief who's in love with him. Yeah, sadly put, the actor who played Pinkbuster would never appear again in the series. Oh, by the way, the kid episode 40, he'll pop up again in Hurricane 10 years later. Yeah, and as for the actress who plays her, well, she never does anything with Sentai after this. She just appears as one episode. Yeah, so she must suppose is someone who appears in like other stuff per se, but it's basically like a bunch of cop stuff. But I find it quite interesting this character, and I'm quite surprised the fact they never brought her back for anything. And here's the thing about this woman: she's not even 30 yet. Actually, she's 30. She's not even 31 yet. She just turned 30 like 4 months ago. Yeah, about 4 months, a little over 3 months ago, she just turned 30. So that means at the time when this came out, which was 12 years ago, she was probably 18 when she did this one. Now, how was the actor who played Himuru? He was like 1 year older than she is. She was like 19. Which I find that both interesting. But I did enjoy this episode. These episodes. Quite fun. Yep. So yeah, that's that particular review. Next up we have is basically My Channel Magic and Muscles. That will be next. And then Blue X's, and I'll cap it up with case closed and be back this one to work on that movie. If I get time to. Okay? So, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, and do not hit that dislike button. Okay? Next video. Bye.